Hey, this is Rich with Cross Country Mortgage. I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, somebody I've known for probably about 15 years now. And it's been amazing to watch him grow his business into one of the preeminent service businesses out there, Dawda Khan. And Dawda and I are going to be talking today about the book Relentless by Tim Grover. We're going to be going over a little bit about what we thought about it. Basically, give a quick 10-minute overview Q&A. Dowda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this platform. But again, my name is Dawda Khan. I've been friends with Rich for a while now, but I sort of, I'm originally from Africa, a place called Gambia, which is where I was born. And I moved to Texas in about 1999. So I've been in Texas ever since, about 23 years now. I built my business in 2000. I started in 2008, 2007, after the housing market crashed, really. And which obviously Tim talked about it, when you get fired, you start your own business, right? So that's sort of like how I started Your Movement and built it to what it is right now, just around one truck. So it's been an amazing 15, 16 years now and counting.
That's awesome. And I love the fact that I really got to see this from right after the beginning of the start of the story.
Yes.
And when I started reading Relentless, I thought about you and I thought about your drive. And this is why I was like, wow, I want to review this book online. And who better to talk about it with than you? So, first, tell me, your top three takeaways from the book.
Well, obviously, the book Relentless speaks for itself, right? But if you're talking about the top three takeaways, really, we're talking about, my favorite was actually not to think. That's one of the things he talked about, he talked about like not to think about things and then just go in and get it done. Because if you think about it too much, you basically just pull yourself out of doing it, right? And getting it done. And most of the athletes that he trained, obviously he talked about Michael Jordan as an influence, as his first client. So that's the main thing up there. So after that, the closer aspect of it, for me, even if business is actually at a point where it's not as great as I want it to be, I don't sit over there and then just worry about exactly where the next meal is coming from. I go out there, I pound the gravel until exactly I get to where I need to go. And that's also one of the things, right? The cooler aspect of it, being relentless, and then just not thinking about things, just getting it done. And those are the three that I really take out of this book, if you ask me.
Awesome. So the not thinking, that's a huge one.
Yes.
I'm part of a coaching organization, the Core, and one of the things they've said about me, and they're absolutely correct, is that I overthink, that I think too much. And they said, stop thinking. We've been here before.
Right.
Just take orders and do what you're supposed to do.
That's it. That's how I look at it as well. Because, like I said, I was the same way. Where I just tried to just think about things way too much, and then just realize, like, you know what, I'm costing myself valuable time, valuable resources, and all this stress of unnecessary stress, if you know what I mean. Because good stress is okay, but I was costing myself a lot of headache and lack of sleep because I was thinking too much. But then I realized every morning that I get up and I know I need to get something done, I would just go out there and get it done, not to think too much about it. And this book kind of just put an icing on the cake in regards to that. So I really appreciate him talking about it in the first chapter, actually, not to think.
Yeah, it reminds me of perfect is the enemy of done. And we always try to do things perfect, do them better. And the problem is that we're busy sitting on our hands. We're not doing them. So if we sit here and try to overthink, we're going to always come up with a reason to not take action.
Right.
And it's better to take action and screw up, learn from the screw up, and then move forward.
That's how you learn.
Exactly.
Mistakes is how you learn, because, like, if you're playing it safe, why let everybody else have the fun? You're going to make a mistake. This is a journey. This is a process. And if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning anything. That's what Einstein said, right? But at the end of the day, We have to keep at it. We have to keep pushing. You know what? When you hit a block, you turn the other way. Make sure like you set yourself up and then get ready for the next chapter. But like mistakes will happen. They're going to continue to happen because the journey has not even, I mean, it started, but we're not even in the middle of it. We have a long way to go. So mistakes are part of the process.
I agree. I also, the cooler, the cleaner, or the cooler, the closer, and the cleaner. You brought those up. I thought that that was really interesting. It kind of depressed me because I'm somewhere. Sometimes I'm a cooler. Sometimes I'm a closer. Sometimes I'm not even on that chart, but I'm working hard at being a cleaner. One thing that he brought up though, and it really hit home for me, and it's helped me take better action, was he talked about the fact that we are all going to feel pain. And we have a choice of the type of pain that we're going to feel. So we can feel the pain, like I have, of, being fat and overweight and having chronic joint and muscle pains because I don't take care of my body and because I eat like crap. Or I can have the pain of getting up 3 days a week, 5 days a week, working out, hitting it hard, becoming fit and healthy, and getting rid of the chronic all the time pain.
Yep.
So when I read the book, it actually inspired me to move more and eat better. And this was a goal for me already, but this just helped me pick it up a notch.
Yeah, he's a good coach. Well, I'm glad actually it sort of motivated you in that sense, because for me, both you and I actually, I think bottom line, we're very nice people. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with being nice, but when it comes to like business, you have to understand what's at stake because people are counting on you. For me, exactly, there's no backup plan, none whatsoever. But people are counting on me, so I have to get up and get it done. I have a family that counts on me. I have my wife, my kids, and then I have 21 employees that are all counting on me. I have decisions to make. I cannot sit over here thinking too hard about, okay, what hurts, what doesn't, what am I supposed to do, what to think about, all these things that comes with like basically just dwelling too much in that same spot over there. I get out there, I knock on doors. If the doors are not open, I climb the windows. If the windows are closed, I cut into the sheetrock and get in there. Well, you know what we do? We network, we shake hands, we kiss babies, we do what we have to do to get it done. And I know from firsthand experience, it has done wonders for my business, because if it wasn't for network, like I said, I met you through networking. I've met so many amazing people through networking. And the friendship that I've built all through these years is what keeps my business alive. You can go call any other moving company, but the relationship that I have with people, that's why they pick up the phone and call me or recommend me. And I can't ask for anything better. And that's what I just basically believe in. And I'll keep pushing that. And as painful as it is so rewarding at the tail end of things when things go the way it's supposed to, that, you know what? It's worth every inch of pain that you go through trying to get there. So pain is pain, whether you get it now or you get it later, it's all good, man. You got to face it.
Absolutely. Now, one thing though, if you grew a better beard, you could probably slide down that chimney.
Dude, no matter what, I can spend my whole life trying to grow. This is not going to happen.
Oh, okay. Okay. So cut the hole through the sheetrock. Once I get a little thinner, I can go down the chimney.
Yeah, that's it. I like that. Yeah, you can always go through the chimney. Yeah.
One of the other things I really liked that he talked about was essentially no victory laps. And this is something that a lot of, my wife and I actually talk about, and she's kind of confused because I don't like to celebrate my victory. I just want to move on and go for the next win.
That's it. That's it, Rich. And I agree with you. I'll give you an example. We have a couple of years ago, we closed a deal during the COVID on our new facility in Cyprus, which is over 2 acres. I still have not sat down and celebrated that victory. And it was a big deal. From where I started to where I'm at right now, it's a big freaking deal.
Yeah.
But, my friends, but the fact that I didn't even get the time to sit down and celebrate, my whole idea is what's next? What do I need to just basically go and get? How do I expand? And so he's right about that, because like when you say, okay, fine, you got it done. Now what? That's just the beginning of the next step. And then that's how I look at it.
So I agree with you. I kind of I look at it like this.
Mm.
So you got the place, great. You moved in, great.
Yeah.
Your celebration is those next 10 calls.
Yeah, exactly.
And the celebration after that is the next 10 calls.
Let me tell you a quick story. Let me tell you a quick story. I didn't mean to cut you off. So I purchased what my office manager got me a cigar. And then he said, when we close the deal, you're gonna light up the cigar. 6 months later, the cigar was still in my glove compartment. I ended up throwing it away because
don't show this to your office manager.
Yeah, I was like, she was like, come on, Dawda, you should have lit this up. I said, well, you should have reminded me. But anyway, it's just what's next? What's next? What's next? I mean, we don't have that much time here. We just have to do our best and then just, at least help the next generation get ahead compared to where we all started.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, one challenge I had was, and I kind of get it, was he said, don't follow your passion, do what you love and the money will follow. He said, work on your passion.
Yeah.
And I'm very passionate about what I do. I absolutely love it. I was passionate about it from day one. So that kind of challenges me. But then when he says work on your passion, that reframes it.
Yes. Well, because passion changes, I mean, from when you begin, you're not the same person as you were when you started. I think that's what he meant. And everything that you're going through, because after a while, consistently doing something can be boring. But consistency compounds. You have to stay with it. You have to keep pushing. So your passion is still what you are doing right now, but then it's different the way you look at it from when you started to where you are right now. I think that's what he meant. Again, that's just my own way of looking at it. So for you, you can take it how you see fit in your own line of work, but passions can change. You have to keep working on it and improve on yourself and improve that passion as you go.
Yeah, and you said consistency, and one of the things I remember him talking about, and I want to make this my last point, and then we can do a quick wrap up.
Sure.
One of the things he was talking about with consistency was, he said, when a player got injured or they were having a challenge,
right,
he would look at every single piece of film and break it down frame by frame by frame until he saw the one tweak, the tiny little tweak. And we're talking basically like shaving a hair in hundreds. You would find that one little tweak, that one little change that you had to make in order to up the game. And I totally love that. And I see that every day. So to me, that could be working on my passion.
Yeah.
But it's difficult for me to picture, and I'm limited this way, me not doing this if I wasn't passionate about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's not working on your passion, but working in it, because you have to improve it, because a passion is something that's inside of you. It's not something that's just out there in the open for everybody to see. Only you can feel it inside. So you have to build in that and then allow it to just basically flourish. Like you said, you're going through it. He sits there and then watches players, these people that pay money to take care of them, take care of their bodies. And then, their conversations about the game, if something happens, it's his job to find out exactly what happened and how we fix it. That's his job. He doesn't like any excuses. He doesn't like making any excuses for his team, for his players, or himself. He holds himself accountable before holding anybody else accountable. And if he can tell Michael Jordan, no, one of the greatest that ever do it, for him to agree with what he does, because, I mean, you can't go wrong. That's just who he is. He's a stand-up guy. He's very capable of what he does. And I'm so proud of what he has built, from working with Jordan to Kobe to all these other great players, and then took care of them to extend their careers as long as they did. Most of these guys would have been out of the league a long time ago if they didn't have a guy like him. So keep that passion going, man.
Absolutely. Dad, I want to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with me on this and sharing the time. And we got to get started on the next book.
Okay.
Atomic Habits.
Yes, sir. I have it right there on my counter. So
awesome. So let's go ahead and get that one read. We're going to put this up on social media. And I'm really excited about this. And I hope that y'all who view this learn a little bit. And remember, the book is Relentless by Tim Grover. It is absolutely a great read. And I'll put that in the link as well.
all right, well, I appreciate your time, appreciate the opportunity. And then, like I said, this is a great book, and I cannot wait to start the next book as well. So 3 hours a day, that's what I do on books. I'm working on it. What's
Awesome.
great about these books, Rich, is like basically what I've learned the last 5 years. Last 5 years, I haven't learned the first 40 years of my life. That's what these books do for me. And then I'm so excited to be able to share it with your people, and then my folks as well, to be able to put it out there and then be able to just have other people benefit from it. This is a great book, and I highly, highly recommend this book. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Yes, sir.
Thank you much.
All right, God bless. Take it easy.
Be well.